All right, what's going on, everybody? This is another Sunday episode of The Lab presented by Champion Circle. Make sure you head over to Champion Circle, uofm.com. Support your student athletes. That's what we do at the University of Michigan. And I'm joined by the one, the only, the man, the Don. The Don. What's
That's
going on,
right.
Don?
Ain't nothing to it, man. God is good, Blessed to be breathing today. Blessed to be talking to you, Blessed to be healthy, man.
You are blessed, man. You are blessed. I've never ran into you when you haven't been blessed. It's just that positive energy. And I don't think I've ever actually even had the chance to ask you this. Like, when did this start? Where did this come from?
I think just like my whole life, like I always had to look at life in a different aspect, like just from like my mom dying like when I was 2, like I just always had to like look at life in a positive aspect, like different from other people. So I think that's where it comes from. I'm not always positive. Sometimes I have my days, like just coming off like this week as well. It wasn't what I wanted it to be. It's like I'm still like overcoming like these thoughts of what I have now, but I'm still gonna remain positive. I just all feel like everything that I go through right now is just a test of my faith. So I'm never gonna like shy away from giving God the glory even when times are going bad for me.
I want to dive into this a little bit, man, because I feel like the coolest thing about watching the Michigan program is watching a guy like yourself talk the way you just spoke right there. Just because that's life, right? And like what really matters other than that perspective, right? All life is just a series of challenges, adaptation, and growth, right? And then you get some good times in there as well. So, you mentioned losing your mom, right? You mentioned some of the adversity you had growing up. Is it this thing where, there's a extreme life challenge, right? And
Mhm.
then you have a couple different ways of looking at it, right?
Yeah.
So what was that process like to go through the challenge of losing your mom to adapting the perspective that you currently have?
I mean, of course it's hard, cause like I always go through like I always have like male role models. And like at a certain point in time, like you need a woman to talk to. Like I have my auntie, like she helps me out a lot too. But it's like you look at everybody else, they have their moms and like you just look at like dang, like you guys don't know how great you have it. Like same thing for like if a child doesn't have their father, like I have my dad and I'm blessed to have him too. It's like it's that certain way that you look at it. But for me, it's just like I always like I try to use my resources. Like I have like amazing other female role models in my life. That I could talk to, or I could like get their 2 cents for me. And like at that same point in time, like I just like try to apply it, because that's what I need. Everybody needs that. Everybody needs the male and the female role models, because you can't look at like as a man, you can't look at everything from a male's perspective. Like you got to be sensitive sometimes. You got to look at life through a different. You got to look at life through a different lens and a different view in the mirror. Like that's what it's like for me. I just try to like not be simple minded, be open minded. Like
Yeah.
show love to males and females, in all walks of life.
I feel like what if you only looked at it from one side, the picture would be incomplete, right? And that
100%.
and that in a sense, like there is one truth on both sides, but they're not the only truths, right? Like there's a polarity that goes on that I've observed myself, and just hearing you talk about it, it's just a reminder to me about that polarity. And then you mentioned, because I just think football is like an instrument
Yeah,
to teach life. Like
yeah,
football is just this event, but there's layers and layers and layers to it. And I think about just watching you throughout your career, and you kind of touched on it, bro. Like you're still working through some things
yeah.
mentally, physically. You're still working through some things, and that's cool too. What is that like to be the man in the arena? You're the number 2 ranked team in the country. Things are going great, and that's
Right.
great too. But I also know what it's like to be injured.
hmm
And then do you draw on some of these lessons that you learned throughout your childhood?
So I always just like refer to like my freshman year, like I'm expecting to be the man, I'm coming off of, just winning the state championship in high school. And as soon as like that was over, I had to come straight to Michigan, because like it was the COVID year. And we started spring ball in like January, and my state championship was in January. And I'm expected to be the man, and like I'm not the man, like I'll have to play behind the great Hassan Haskins, and then you got Blake Corum, who's a great player as well, and like it's kind of like that challenge, like I remember after we played Washington, like, like I'm super competitive, I'm passionate about football. I barely play. I probably had about like 4 plays. And after the game, I just cried, because it's like, why am I not, like I'm preparing, like how come I'm not playing the blame game or anything, but it's just like I ask my own like self, like, why am I not like, like getting in the game, like I understand, like they've had more experience than me, but like just as a competitor standpoint, like dang, like why am I not getting in the game? Why can't I show what I could do? Because I'm super confident, don't I try to say like don't I'm very expressive about my confidence too. So please don't like exalt my confidence for arrogance, so
Mhm.
but that's my thing, and the same thing happened last year, barely, Blake is playing a lot, he's playing like a Heisman season. And it's just those mental things, as a competitor, like, like you want to play, you want to get in the game, like sometimes it's not the time for you. And the way I look at that is like how are you going to rise from that? Are you going to get better? Are you going to be bitter? Or are you going to get better? And that's a Coach Harbaugh says that a lot, and I really implement that a lot because you could either fold or you could rise to the occasion, like when your number's called.
Mhm.
So that's what I'm living through, like currently, like right now too. You know, the team's winning too. And that's the ultimate thing. You can't complain when the team wins either. But at the same time, like being a competitor, like you want to be able to show what you can do. Like probably just like Kobe Bryant, his first couple of years in the NBA, he's probably like one of the best players on the team, but like the opportunity wasn't showing for him, But what did he do? He just continued to get better and better and better and better. And I feel like that's what anybody can do. Anybody and everybody could just continue to do that, continue to push through the adversity that they might go through, and that's just their life too. That's why football is such an amazing game because like it all correlates to life. Every single thing that you go through in football, it all correlates to life. So that's how I feel. That's how I view it. And, like you always got to keep your head down, but your head up at the same time. Keep your head down and work, and keep your head up just at all times. When things are good and when things are bad, just keep your head up.
I knew I was going to be excited to talk to you today because that gets me fired up. Because really, like what you said, that is the principle that underlies it all, is like you didn't ask anyone, you didn't ask Coach Hart or Coach Harbaugh or your teammates, like you didn't run from it, bro. You said, what can I do? Like, what am I doing? Like, okay, like Hassan and Blake are doing, I feel like I can get in there, but it's not like what can I do? It's an internal
Right.
thing. Like,
Right.
last year, what can I do? This year, it's like, hey, like, you understand the truth of this is that it's pretty much all internal. It's
Yeah.
all internal. If you solve the internal, the external, of course, just falls into place. Right. Like that's just the truth of the reality. How do you do that though, man? Because like I think about this because you're in college, you got
Hmm.
class, like you got friends, like maybe you got some relationship, or you might have a girl, like whatever. Like you got a lot to balance. NIL. I
Hmm.
empathize with you guys. Like how do you keep yourself grounded? Because you have to be grounded to go
Yeah.
through this.
I mean, you just have to take like the time for yourself, whether that be in the morning before you get the day started or at night when you just like revisit everything that you've been through in the day. Like you gotta just take time for yourself. And like I do a lot of like mental health things, and that's really, really important, because like you don't want to never not be yourself. That's the thing. You always want to be you in the environment where there are other amazing people around you as well. maybe bad people too, but you always just never want to lose yourself. You always want to be you, you know. So I just say like you just got to take time for yourself, you know, and believe in what you believe in, you know. Like I have a slogan, it's like better days ahead, you know. Like
Mhm.
you're always gonna have better days ahead, you know. It might not be today, it might not be tomorrow, but I guarantee like you are going to be where you want to be in life.
Yeah, my dad would always tell me like this too shall pass, you know.
Yeah,
I'm like, man, what does that mean, you know? And then like I would have injury after it, and I'd pick myself up, and then injury, and then I'd pick myself up. And there was like 3 years where I was like, Dad, like this hasn't passed, and he was like, no, 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 you don't understand. Like this too shall pass, even if it takes 60, even if it takes your entire life, you know,
right,
like this too shall pass. Like at
right,
some point, like the peace comes from acceptance. Like, hey,
right,
bro, like I'm in this thing. Like this too
right.
shall pass, you know?
Yeah, I just want to say too, like just like how in the Bible, like how Moses and the Israelites, how they were in the wilderness for 40 years. You know, you don't expect to be in the wilderness for 40 years, but it too shall pass, you know, and then they reach the promised land. So I feel you on that. I feel you on that.
You can't go through I just think about the wisdom in that. You can't go through 40 years if you have expectations either, right? If
You're
you're
right.
saying, "Oh, okay, I'll be good for a week," like, I'll be good for a month," or, "Hey, listen, I'll be good for a year." Like, you're done, you know? The only way you're good is it's like, "Hey, no, like, I'm strapped into this thing, like, it takes what it takes," you know? Quite simply, like, it takes what it takes. Like, I'm gonna show up, chop wood, carry water, and you know, we'll get there. Um, I want to ask you one thing because I feel I can't ask this to everybody, but I feel confident asking you this is, you know, your teammates around you. Like, you know, I see guys like coming up to you on the sideline, like happy for you when the plays get made, like, hey, understanding sometimes that you're fighting off some things, right? Like,
Yeah.
what's it like to have a supporting cast around you?
Bro, it's a brotherhood. Like Trevor Keegan just texted me last night and like asked me if I was good, you know, because he knows how passionate I am, and the whole team knows how passionate I am about football too. But things just haven't been shaking for me, and like they know that, you know, and it's like they always, you know, like just make sure that we're not just me too, but like we're all okay, you know, just like how like we always uplift each other no matter like what the circumstances is, you know, like how when Blake got hurt last year, we uplifted him, you know, like we got you, brother, you know what I'm saying? And it's just that brotherhood that has been built here, you know, and I really kind of credit a lot to it. You know, from my freshman year, the leaders that we had, that's all I could go off of. You know, I'm not sure how it was when you were here or, you know, like how it was like before that as well, but I can only just speak on like what I was a part of, you know, and like that was like Josh Ross, Aiden Hutchinson, Hassan Haskins, like and David Ojabo, Dax Hill, like those were the guys like that were like really implementing the brotherhood, you know, and like really implementing like what it is to be a Michigan man, and that just like applies still today, you know, like I think it's going to continue to apply, you know, when this senior class leaves, when the grass leave, like Mikey and Mike B old self, his 6 year, we call him he the grandpa, old man around here, man. And then same thing like when my class leaves, like we're continuing just to like implement to like the sophomores, the freshmen. Like, you know, this is a brotherhood that we have. You know, like just like how Samaj Morgan had his first career touchdown yesterday. I'm kind of jealous because he got one before me this year. No, I'm just playing. I love to see it, but it's just the brotherhood, you know. Like we're all happy for him, you know. I'm up looking at in the stands, looking at his pops. Like that's what I'm talking about right there, you know. Like, cause like we all work hard, you know, and you know everything that we go through is together. You know, like we're a tough group together, and you know that's what's gonna ultimately like win us the games at the end of the day. And like that's the bonds that we're gonna have 40 years from now.
Yeah. It's shout out to Samaj though, because that wasn't an easy catch.
Nah, that
It was
was tough, bro.
contested,
That
back
was tough.
shoulder, back hip. Good job. Came down with it, man. That's good stuff. I mean, I still think, I mean, You know, there's multiple elements to it. Like the senior class has to be willing to like have humility to reach their hand out and pull those up below them, like the freshmen, like show them the way. But then
Yeah.
it's also on the freshmen being willing to say, oh, okay, like I see the success here at Michigan. I want to be a part of that. And they have to be willing to meet in the middle. And it's on Coach Harbaugh and the staff to recruit the guys that are able to do it from both ends, you know, and that's how you start to build a culture, and a culture that eventually succeeds. You know, I want to just come back to something because you talked about mental health and it's a big topic. And of course, you have a big platform. I feel though I have a big platform. And then, you know, with the youth, I just personally think as far as mental health goes, you know, if you don't operate with an awareness, you know, the world will kind of diminish your mental health. Like you got to have some type of awareness of what you're up against at times, you know, like especially young people with social media, with the pressures, whatever. You have to have some type of awareness of, you know, what's the risk if you aren't doing certain things.
Mhm.
Now, those certain things for me may be different than you, but I wanted to give you a chance. Like, what are some of those? You said you had mental health practices. What are some of those mental
Yeah.
health practices?
You know, like how highly I speak of myself, right? And how things kind of just aren't playing the way how I plan for it to be right now. You know, like it's just like, ah, dang, but like how I said, like, do I get bitter or do I get better? Man, it's like you said, it's the awareness, like I kind of know what's going on around me, and like it's okay because like you have to, for one, you have to be aware of the situation that is in front of you, like, and then you have to apply it. You have to like get better at the situation that you're going through. And I also think like that's what like seeing a therapist is for. Like I see a therapist myself, like a mental health counselor. And like some things that I'm not sure of, or like I need help with, I go see him. And I think like that, I think like everybody needs like a person that they can talk to. That's the big thing as well. Like you can't bottle it in. You can't bottle it in for your whole life. I think that's the problem with most men as well. Like like we have such a masculinity to us. Like oh, like I'll be all right. It's like it's really tearing you down. Like it's just draining your energy. And it's important to seek help. It's important to seek help, and it's important to just go about your business accordingly. Like just seek help and apply it for yourself because you're not going to get better like if you don't apply it yourself. Like you and I, we can't do it for somebody else. Like they have to do it for themselves, or like say you and I are going through a battle, like somebody else can't, like they could say the right things, but it's up to us to apply it for ourselves to be better in the future.
Absolutely, man. No, I mean it's an important conversation. Shoot, I see a therapist. I've seen therapists at times in my life. I see the value in it. Um, just even sometimes verbalizing what's going on. When it's in here, it's like
Yeah,
it's a box. It's trapped. Just
it's
sometimes just
real.
speaking it, you
It's
know.
real, man. It's real.
um Yeah, just being able to get it out, it can that alone can be what you need to have happen. So I wanted to ask you something though, just to move to something maybe a little bit more lighthearted. So, you know, I called your game against Bowling Green, and then we come back the next week, and we had our coach meetings with Coach Harbaugh. So Coach
Mm.
Harbaugh was watching the game at home, and there was a game where bowling there was
How
a
does that coach meeting? How does that work?
on Fridays. On Wednesdays, we meet over Zoom with the away coach and just like check, like, hey, who's injured? Like, hey, any
Really?
storylines? Yeah. There's a lot of prep that goes into it. Yeah, we
That's
meet with the
cool.
head coach, the coordinators, and then usually we meet with the home
Huh.
team players. So it's pretty fun. That's my favorite part of the week. But what happens
Do they
is
tell the truth with that?
sometimes they're like a magician where they have you look over here, but really the answer is over here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
Right?
I,
Yeah.
I would figure like, wouldn't you lie?
Not, I won't say coaches really outright lie, you know, but I do think some
Ah,
coaches have been burned by media members in the past, like particularly when it comes to injuries, or like they'll share something in the media, like it gets
mm,
out. That's something I'm extremely conscious about. Like I've heard, like for Kirk Herbstreit, coaches are super willing to talk with him because he has a 30-year career of being completely honest and tight-lipped. So that's something I'm always aware of. I mean, even when I'm calling a Michigan game, like the opposing coaches are probably like, "Man, this is a Michigan dude." I'm like, "Listen, man, I'm a pro. I'm a pro." You got there, Essentia?
Yeah, man. I got to brand that real quick.
Okay, go ahead.
I need that deal.
Yeah. Hey, I'm a Essentia guy too. Essentia. Come on, reach out to this man. I know some dudes, and I know a lot of dudes getting the Essentia partnership. But so anyway, so I'm meeting with Coach Harbaugh this week. He's saying he watched the game and it gave him this whole new perspective. But there was one play in the Bowling Green game, and I wanted to say this because I know I'm going to be wrong sometimes, but I got to speak with conviction on air. There was a double A gap pressure with Bowling Green, and Coach said that the protection was changed. And I said, wait a second, Donovan's got one of those guys in the A gaps. And Coach said, no, you're wrong. Donovan was right. So I wanted to give you a chance. You can get on me here for being wrong.
What quarter was it?
I think it was the third quarter, if I'm not mistaken. You guys were going down to the right end zone, like towards Pioneer.
I know I missed one in the game, and that was the only one I missed in 3 years.
That's when JJ scrambled, though, right?
And was that the pick?
Yes.
Damn. All right, you got me, dog.
No. That one I didn't say it. The other, so then you are right. Then you are right. The other one, I think it was squeeze protection, and you leaked out.
Okay, yes, no, yeah, that one, which I know I got a lot of stuff on Twitter saying I can't pass protect. Y'all are. Let me not even say that. How you can't speak about something that you don't know. That's what I like about the Twitter antics. Like, bro, do you even know pass protections? Because like I wasn't wrong. It was a full slide to the right. Everybody didn't get the call, so that's where this is the one where I'm saying I was right on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like everybody didn't get the call, and that was just one of the, like we said, like we gotta just do a better job communicating on. That wasn't on me, bro. Like my responsibility is the C and D gap, but the other one, that was on me, bro. That's the one that was the first one I missed in like 3 years there. That's on me. But I have an explanation though. Because I'm thinking that my man has me man to man. Because you know how as a running back, like they just come up, and it looks like they have you man to man. I thought he had me man to man, and I just got out. And then when I saw him go, I was like, damn. I was like, yo, that's it. That's it. I'm about to get chewed out. I'm about to get chewed out, and it ain't gonna look too good. That was the one I'm like, damn, they got me on that one. But I think he was wrong though, because like their pressure is it was Psalm. No, I think it was like a free safety in the Sam, and the mic wasn't supposed to come.
No one had you. No one had you. So
that's what I'm saying. Like, so I'm saying I think he was wrong. So that's what I'm saying. Like he had me man to man, because like how you said I was wide open. Yeah. I was just like, bro, like that's some BS right there.
Yeah,
that wasn't cool. Because now I look bad.
So he was wrong too.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
you feel me? To be wrong but right. Sometimes you're wrong but right. Sometimes you're right but wrong, and that's football.
It just happens, I guarantee my man's like my man from Bowling Green, and the coach in his meeting. The coach is like, you're wrong, but you got to the quarterback, so you get some grace. Bro, get out of here, bro.
Man. I mean, listen, I feel like people, especially on Twitter, man, like, listen, and I was wrong too, but I would never question your ability to pass pro. I would say, I start almost every meeting when I know you guys are playing a defense that pressures, even Rutgers. Yeah. I'm like, man, Blake and Donovan are the best pass proing backs in college football.
Yeah. That's a lot of testament to Coach Hart.
What's that?
A lot of testament to Coach Hart.
Was he a good pass pro back? Did you guys ever see some of his tape back when he was playing?
Yeah, he was really good. And that's a testament to Freddie J, because like the way I look at it is I'm just a reflection of my coach, and like he does Freddie J has done an amazing job with Coach Hart, to who he was as a player, who he is as a coach. And then Coach Hart has like instilled that into me, Blake, and when Hassan was here too. Like the pass protection is like the most important, so I want the ball too, you know.
Mhm.
But you can't play like if you can't pass protect. And
Yeah.
like I think like me and Blake do a fantastic job. Like we know who we have. Like we're locked into it, and that's just a lot of testament to Coach Hart and his coaching ability.
Yeah, but it's not just knowing what you have because I've seen backs that know what you have. But then the other thing is you're flat footed and
Yeah,
that blitzer is in a sprinter stance coming full speed at you. So like you have to bring some stuff with
no
you, and
doubt,
you gotta like bring stiffen your neck a little bit and stop the rush. Like
no
it's
doubt.
twofold. You guys do that though. Like that's what I'm
Yeah,
saying. No one can question that.
yeah.
I've seen you guys freaking stick some backers and secondary guys.
Yeah, no doubt. And I think too, it's about film study. I've talked to like, some NFL guys, thing like Mark Ingram and Frank Gore in particular. They just told me about like when I'm watching film, like know who I'm going up against. Like it'll be some linebackers that are straight bull rushers. You got to know how to deal with that. It could be some that are like a nickel that's coming off the edge who has some finesse to him. You got to know how to deal with that. I don't want to give out my secrets, but I'll probably give it out after I'm done playing football. But you got to know how to deal with that. So that's like you got to know what to like who you're going against. If he's a bull rusher, or if he's a finesse guy.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean,
Mhm.
and that's that's the mental side of football. Again, just like these are so cool because you get to unpack the layers of this. Like you're not just showing up on Monday, showing up on Tuesday. All of a sudden, you show up at Saturday. Like no, you show up, and then you got to go home and do your work to understand those details because those guys are good too, and they're doing the
Yeah,
same thing. And you got to give yourself the best chance to do it. I feel like with pass pro too, like there's an emotional aspect of it
yeah, you got to
when
be
someone
willing
brings
to.
the heat and you stick them in their chin and then JJ has time and rips a throw, like that's 11 people working on the same page
Yeah,
emotionally.
yeah. I do before we get into that, I just had a thought. I respect the tight ends, bro.
Mm,
Like, yeah, like you guys, the tight ends, all throughout NFL, college, not so much high school, but like you guys are nuts. You guys are a hard position to play.
tough.
Like having to know what the O line is doing on
Yeah.
top of like what the receiver stuff too. That's hard, bro. And
Back
then y'all are blocking DNs too. They're like 290 as well. Yeah, you got I rock with that, bro. 21 gun salute to the tight ends. Yeah,
it's
I'm
the
giving
back.
it
We know
tight
running
end
back protection
appreciation day for
too.
me, man.
Running back protection too.
Yeah.
From time to time, you'll be off the ball and you got to scan Sam to nickel to safety to corner. Like sometimes
That's
you got
right.
to scan that, but yeah, man. I mean, that's the thing is like I feel like it doesn't get enough credit because you're 250 pounds. You got to be quick enough to like run around and create separation.
You talking
But
about
then
tight ends?
yes,
No,
but then
very,
there's a
very
280
underrated.
pound D end on you. You
Yeah,
got to be
very
big enough
underrated.
to block him.
Very underrated. Then you got to go against like the best safeties too.
Yeah,
Very underrated. Very
yeah.
underrated.
And
Yeah,
special
I just wanted to
teams,
say that.
right?
My
Like
bad.
you're a core four special teamer too. Yeah,
Like see, like that's C Love right there. C Love is on punt. He was on kickoff last year, but I just been watching the tight ends recently, and like they got to go against the DNs, uh, double up to the linebackers, and they got to know that too.
yeah.
Like, oh yeah, y'all got my respect for sure. Y'all are a very hard position to play.
I love the
Very
gap.
hard.
I'm a big fan of the gap scheme where AJ Barner's traying up to the will,
Uh-huh.
bang, hit the hip, lick the linebacker, then Bredesen comes, sticks the outside linebacker, and then there comes Keegan or Zint or
Right.
someone pulling through, bang, and it's just like bang, 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 and you and Blake are just like bang right up through, dude. It's
Poetry in motion. It's an art to it.
poetry. I
It's an
said it was
art.
like music. I said it was like music because you can literally hear the hits. It's like bang, 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 and then almost like a silent, like a falcon. You guys are like right up through the defense.
No doubt. Yeah, that's art.
Yeah, it's pretty much ours. So, hey man. So as we wind down here, I just wanted to, you've talked about. I had a coach tell us like, hey, the season's kind of go in quarters. So like, you have 12 games, we could call it like, hey, there's 4 quarters, 3 quarters. In that sense, you're in the second quarter.
Mhm.
You've kind of touched on it with, you're getting back from some things in the first quarter. You're into the second quarter. where's your mind at kind of going forward as you now are in Big Ten conference play, going on the road this week to a good Nebraska defense? I mean, those guys, you could say what you want about them. They play hard defense. Where's your head at? Where's your heart at?
For me, it's just being where my feet are, and then respecting the opponent, respecting the game, um, and just going hard in practice every single day. Because if you go hard in practice, then that all results to the game. So that's what I think. There's really no secret to it. It's just
Yeah.
working hard. You know what I'm saying? Working hard, making sure that your body's right. I'm on a crazy schedule. I'm not gonna lie. Like when it comes to massages, working out, doing stuff for my body, robotics therapy. I'm on like a crazy schedule. So that's really what it is. It's just working hard, respecting the opponent, knowing what you're doing, and then just being a great teammate and a great leader. So the army, the troops are ready to go into war.
You pretty much have like an NFL schedule, dude. I robotics therapy, dude. I was thinking about it. Like we would get like a 15-minute massage like once every 2 weeks. Let me wrap up with one quick question, and I'm going to put you on the spot, but maybe you have one, maybe you don't. Do you have a favorite quote? Because the philosophical aspect of this is always fascinating to me. Do you have a favorite quote you come back to, or one that comes to mind when I ask you that question?
There's a lot of quotes, but probably just like some Muhammad Ali stuff for me. I can't say like any type of quote because shit, if I just see it, like I'll be like, oh, that's great. I don't remember it though. I don't
Yeah.
remember quotes like that, but I just like I hear what people say. And I gotta say like Muhammad Ali for me. Yeah. Something he says.
It's like a little battery pack here and
Oh, I
there.
got I got one. I got one. How Muhammad Ali talks, he said like like sometimes like I don't want to train, but like in order to be great, like I have to do it.
Mm.
Something like that.
Mm.
That's not word for word, but you
I
get
know
the
what you're
gist.
talking about. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Basically, you got to pay the price for your goals, right? Like it's not like
exactly.
he's not waking up smiling to go to practice or waking up, popping out of bed at 5 a.m. Like, no, like this is just what's required for the path that he's on, right?
No doubt.
Yeah. There's a good book, man. There's a book called Chop Wood, Carry Water. I would say that one might be one of my favorite quotes
You
right
know
now,
that?
just about chopping wood, carry water. Who knows that book?
That's Justin.
Yeah, yeah. Chop wood, carry water. I'm gonna send you that book. Honestly, it's
I
literally.
bet.
Look at this book. Look at. I'm not a big reader. I'm not gonna pretend and flex on this social media. Like, look at that. Look at that. Big, easy read, but it gets straight to the point. It's a good message. I think you'd appreciate it. It's about a samurai, all right, or it's about an archer, I should say, a guy that's trying to be a world-renowned archer.
Yeah, no
Chop wood,
doubt.
carry water. So I'm gonna send it to you. But
You ain't got nothing else for me on the podcast, bro. I'm enjoying talking to you right now, man.
we can stay. Yeah, no, absolutely, absolutely.
That's if you gotta go. Time is money.
No, I'm chilling, man. I figured you had a Sunday, you had to, get into some treatment or anything like that. What is
I'm
Sunday like for you?
chilling. Uh, it depends. It depends how I feel after the game. I might work out on Sunday. I have been for like the past 2 weeks, or I just like watch the game film, prepare for the next team that we're playing that same week. Get a massage, do what's that shit called? I'll get an IV and then get in a hyperbaric chamber and restore. But I'm probably
Ooh,
not gonna do that today.
the oxygen?
Yeah,
They
uh-huh.
say that's good. That's
Yeah, it's
real good
great.
for your brain, for everything.
No, it's great. They need to give me one, honestly.
Those things are expensive though. You need maybe an NIL deal though.
Come
They're
on, man.
coming
That's
up though.
that's why I'm saying it, man.
I had some buddies in the NFL that maybe they had some like concussion issues or whatever. So they'd go to all of the doctors in the world, and then there was this one facility that was supposed to be like cutting edge technology, like international funding. All it was like a massive. They took a old, like the hollowed out portion of a plane, like the where you sit on a plane, turn the whole thing into a hyperbaric chamber,
Mm.
and you just sit in there for hours and hours on a day to help like bring oxygen to your brain. It's good for like dementia, amnesia, like all like late stage illness.
No,
But of
it's
course,
great.
with
It's great
football,
stuff. Yeah,
yeah,
it's great stuff.
you feel like almost like wired coming out of it in a way. Like I wouldn't call it like a high or anything, but like I don't know, my clarity. I've done it a couple times. Like I have a huge sense of clarity coming out of it.
Yeah, no doubt. I felt like a little slow at first, but like give me like an hour or two, and like I'm back to normal.
Do you sauna?
Yeah.
Cold?
Not much, not much. I only do it like when I'm sick.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
What about the cold?
definitely. Every
Neck?
day. Yeah,
How?
every day.
Where to the hips, or do you go neck deep?
Yeah, bro. I shied away. I kind of got weak cuz during fall camp I was doing like the full body up to the neck, but like now it's just you just look at it, in the car wash, you just look at it
Yeah.
and then you just be like, "Nah, I'm good. Just go just put the legs in, go up to the hips." Yeah,
Trust
and
me,
I
I
shied
know
away from
exactly
that.
how that goes. Who
Yeah.
you got it? I know there's someone extreme on the team. Like who is it? Like a freshman linebacker, like
Oh, it's Ernest.
Ernest. He's
Yes,
neck deep.
yes. Ernest. He be in there like with his headphones on, with the neck down, hands in the cold tub. I can't do that. He's tripping with that. Hands in there, and he just like closes his eyes, and just like it just to his 10 minutes here, and then he hears the alarm, he gets up out of there. I should be like, I respect that. I wish I could get like that. Like he does it every day. I
Wow.
wish I could do it. But nah, bro.
Does
I'm
he wear the
just
toe warmers, or is he just
nah. He's straight up,
raw?
straight up.
Wow.
Yes.
Maybe Ernest is secretly Zen too. Like, I mean, look, you can't not be Zen. I mean, after a minute in there, your mind goes blank. You're just trying to figure out how not to
Yeah.
freeze to death, right?
Yeah,
Like maybe,
it's like you just got to get cold. Like once you adapt to the coldness, you're straight after that. You know
yeah,
that.
yeah.
You straight after like 3-4 minutes.
Even sometimes it's a little bit sooner. Like it's really the work. It gets easier as it goes. Actually, like the first 10 seconds are the hardest. Like the next
Hmm.
10 are a little easier. By a minute, it's really not too bad. By 2 minutes, you're good. You're just numb. Like not
Yeah,
even that bad.
ain't even much at that point.
Where do you live on campus?
Don't worry about that.
All right. Good call. Good call. Good call. You saved me on that one. Yeah. Good call.
Yeah.
Good
Uh,
call. Doesn't matter. Doesn't
don't
matter.
worry about that.
Doesn't matter. Do you have roommates?
Yeah, Junior.
Okay. All
So
right.
hopefully he doesn't say where we live,
Okay.
but he
No,
wouldn't.
well,
I know he
I'll
wouldn't.
know better than to ask him next time. I'll know better than to try to sell you guys out like that.
No doubt.
What's Junior like as a roommate?
He just goes in his room, like just watches film, does homework, and just goes in his room. Like we're kind of like the same, like we're brothers. Like we just don't say much, and like like we'll talk a little stuff to each other. I'll be like, you can't guard me, and he'll say like, you can't run through me, whatever, dog. Well, we'll talk some stuff sometimes, but after that, like by like 8 o'clock, like we're in our rooms. 8 or 9 o'clock. It depends if we go to Chick-fil-A that day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the order at Chick-fil-A?
Mine is 2 spicy chicken sandwiches, no Polynesian. No, I'm tripping. No pickles, large fry, 4-piece chicken tender strip. I might get a salad from time to time, and 12 Polynesian sauces.
Wow, 12 Polynesian sauces?
I can't eat it without Polynesian. It's like Chipotle for me. Like if they don't have vinaigrettes and I order the Chipotle, I'm just throwing the whole Chipotle bowl away.
Wow, but 12 though?
Yeah,
So how many per what's the math on that? Like how many per sandwich?
I like that. So I do sometimes. I always do like one sandwich, half the fries, half the tenders, and I usually have like five to that.
Okay.
So about like half. I usually use one full one for the sandwich, right? A full one for the fry, a full one for the nuggets, and then I'll use like half because I'm not done, with the sandwich. Half for the sandwich, for the other Polynesian sauce, and then like for the mixture of like fries and the tenders, I use that for the
Okay.
last one.
They're getting used. That's the important thing. I like their buffalo sauce. I'm a big buffalo sauce. So I'll get the spicy, but then I get the buffalo too.
You
I'm
ever
all
you
about
never
that
tried
spicy.
Polynesian?
It's fine. I like it. I won't say I don't like it. Honestly, I like all their sauce, but I'm a buffalo guy. I like spice like through and through. So I'll get the spicy and the buffalo sauce.
You're weird.
I might be weird. I
Yeah,
might be
that's
weird.
wild.
But then what I'll do to balance it out, basically it ends up being like Polynesian sauce because I'll get the ranch with the fries. So
Mm.
then I get the spice, but then I cool it off, and then it's kind of Polynesian when you meet in the middle on it, you know?
Yeah, I saw on Instagram one time, like, my man put, like, Polynesian and buffalo sauce, like, in the on the chicken
Ooh,
sandwich. It looked pretty fire.
that might have something. I
Yeah.
might have to try that.
Try that out, let me know how that is.
It's Sunday. I'll push it to
Yeah,
Monday. Yeah.
yeah, you know me, I got Chick-fil-A at the crib, though.
Oh, you got to wait. You got
Yeah,
to
it's
wait.
waiting for me. Junior got it for me yesterday.
We need the NIL deal there too. Honestly, like,
Come
come
on,
on,
man.
come on. Uh, so I was told, and I actually didn't know this about you because I'm a big chess player. What's your rating?
I'm a cool, like, I don't play 10 minutes anymore. I think it's too slow for me, but I play, like, 5 minutes. I'm about, like, 800.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
That's really good. I don't think I'm 800 on 5 minutes. That's quick.
I gotta play you. I wanna play you.
I want to play you actually. Yeah,
Sounds good. I'll
yeah.
I'll I'll, t- I'll text you my I'll text you my username after we get off of here.
So you're getting reps in like throughout the day.
No.
I I'm
I'll play when I'm bored, you
yeah.
know. Like I'm not a try. I used to be a try hard because the only reason why I got into it is because Isaiah Gash beat me in chess one time. I was like, hell no, never again. You know, so I started try harding like him. And
Watching YouTube videos.
started watching my YouTube videos. I bought a book on it, bought a book on chess. I watched the Queen's Gambit on Netflix. Now I started try harding, and now he can't beat me. That's how it's supposed to be.
There's a lesson in that. Yeah,
Sorry,
nah.
Gash. Sorry I had to do that to you, Gash.
I watched the Queen's Gambit, and that's when I got into it myself. I was like, wait a second, like this is actually kind of sweet, like
Yeah.
And then I learned the game, and I was like, oh yeah, this is really sweet. I'm a big like I play like 3-day games, so like if you and I were playing, we could do like one move a day. It'll take like 2 weeks to play the game. It's super slow, but that way, like, hey, if you're busy,
No,
you
I
could.
wouldn't. I can't do that, bro. I'm ready to. I'm ready to win right now.
No, there's some times where I'm ready. I'll challenge people. So that honestly, yeah, we'll get
That's
each
what's up.
other's
Next
like
time you're
gamer
in the
tags.
facility, we gotta play.
Oh yeah, do you guys got a table there?
Yeah. We got multiple.
So
Cause
who's the
Abigail,
best?
yeah, Abigail sees like how much like me, LD, Dale Chesson, CJ, Roman, Gash. And she see how much we play. So like she bought like multiple boards, T Bounce too. Yeah,
Who's
Joey
the
B.
best?
I'm not gonna say anybody else but me. But one person who I do get in a good scuffle with is LD. But
Hmm.
he's trash though.
Explain that.
You just make mistakes yourself. He
Yeah.
gon' he gon' he gonna send me this and be like, bro, I suck, but no, he sucks.
Are
Like he's not good, but
you
like
talking about Ladarius?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, he
Okay.
might just capitalize on a mistake from you just capitalize on a mistake. That's all it
Hey,
is.
hey, that's the way it goes. And thank you so much for tuning in. Fans, thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you reach out to us on social media. We are active and head over to championscircleufm.com. Donovan, it's been a pleasure. It's always been a pleasure, man. Looking forward to seeing you take the field next week.
The pleasure is mine, my friend. You keep on doing what you're doing, my G, man. You impacting the world, man. We are
Thank
proud
you,
of
brother.
you as Michigan, as the program is of Michigan.
Thank you,
Proud of you,
brother.
my friend.
Thank you, man. Thank you, guys. We'll see you next week.